Hello, my name is Daria. I'm 16 years old. I study in school gymnasium number 95 in Krigandy. I would like to talk about books because it's my favorite thing to talk about. And I would like to do it in format of interview, so my friend will ask me questions and I will answer.
Do you like reading books?
Yes, I really like reading books, and I guess I actually read every day.
Why?
Because it's really useful for improving yourself as a personality. You can learn some lessons from these books. You can learn something from the characters in these books. You can develop your imagination, and it just helps you to prioritize your values in your life.
What is your favorite genre and why?
Actually, I don't have one favorite genre because I like to read completely different books, but I guess my top 3 is classic books because it's the most deep books that I have read. It's really make you think about your life, think about yourself, think about your values in the life. And also characters are really close to us, so I guess it's the most useful books. Also I like fantasy and fantastic books because it helps you develop your imagination, and I just like the atmosphere of these books. Like you can deep down in this atmosphere and feel yourself someone else, like in completely different world. And I guess my third favorite book is detective, just because it's really interesting to read and it's really exciting because you can predict who is the killer, you can guess the plot, and it also have really interesting things, like when you don't know and you try to guess it and you are wrong. So it makes me feel really a lot of feelings.
What is your favorite book? Tell me about it.
It's a really difficult question because I like a lot of books. But I guess right now my favorite book is Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. It's a fantasy young adult book. That tells about 6 completely different teenagers, people who are trying to solve their problems, and also they communicate with each other. They make a deal to steal some really expensive things. Yes, and this book is set up in the completely different world. There are a lot of unordinary people who has abilities. For example, they can read your mind or control your blood in your veins. And it has a lot of details that are really interesting to read. So the book is really exciting for me.
Who is your favorite author and why?
I guess right now my favorite author is Anton Chekhov, the classic, because I really like the language he is writing his books, and I really like that his books are simple. You can read it in like my age, maybe even younger. His books are simple. You can read it in like my age, maybe even younger. When I started reading his books, I was like 10 years old, I guess. And it has a lot of really important meanings. I guess all of his books has some things that we should learn. It made me think about myself, about my life, about what my values are and what I should do different in my life.
Do you prefer textbook or electronic ones?
I prefer textbooks because it's a completely different way of reading. When you read a textbook, you can feel it. You're deep down in this atmosphere even harder, but you need a lot of money to buy this book. So I guess sometimes I read electronic ones, and it's good too, but I prefer textbooks.
Why do you think reading is so important?
I guess everyone should read, and if someone don't like reading, it just means that and what I should do different in my life.
Do you prefer textbook or electronic ones?
I prefer textbooks because it's a completely different way of reading. When you read a textbook, you can feel it. You're deep down in this atmosphere even harder, but you need a lot of money to buy this book. So I guess sometimes I read electronic ones, and it's good too, but I prefer textbooks.
Why do you think reading is so important?
I guess everyone should read, and if someone don't like reading, it just means that this person hasn't found his genre yet. I guess reading is a really good way of improving yourself. You should read. When you read, you can make yourself better. You can build yourself as a good personality, as a good person, and also it's just, I guess, the most interesting way of spending your free time. Goodbye.